and welcome to our Lifelong Citizenship Awards ceremony. My name is Catherine Youssef, and I work with the Active Lifestyles program with the City of Newport News, Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. At this time, I would like to ask the honorees that we're honoring this year to come forward. We have a special seat for you. Leslie Brown, Dr. Dawson, Sarah DeYoung, Dr. Fink, Eleanor Hill, Margaret Howard, James Huggard, Hilda Labach, Mr. Stallings, and Mr. and Mrs. Wynn. At this time, I would like everyone to rise for the presentation of the colors.
Honor guard, vote. Present art.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's my pleasure to introduce your MC for this morning, Mrs. Stella Brown. She is our Newport News Active Lifestyles Program Chair for the Advisory Committee. Welcome, Ms. Brown.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. There's been a little situation that I will bring up front because it is not the usual thing. If you see my hand go up, I am covering one eye so that I will be able to read with the other eye to be able to carry out this particular program. I did not intend to share this, but when my hand went up and touched this, I felt the need to let it be known so that you will understand what is happening. This eye began to have a stroke, and as a result, I will utilize my right. But right now, I will say welcome. It is a joy and a blessing to be here today. As was stated, I am Estella Brown, the chairperson of the advisory committee. Will all of the members of the advisory committee please stand? They are around, or they may be outside, but these are the people that are going to also welcome you today. They are also going to say honor our honorees. They are also going to put the blessings out for today. And without a doubt, we are going to thank Carla Vinnie for that tremendous song that she just sung for us. That was fantastic. She deserves that. Thank you. On behalf of the staff of the advisory committee of the Lifestyles, we welcome each and every one of you here today. Each honoree's life has had and is having an important part on our society. Additional information you will find in your programs. To our honorees, may flowers always live and lined your path, and sunshine light your day. May songbirds serenade you every step along the way. May a rainbow run beside you in the sky that's always blue. And may happiness fill your heart each day and your whole life through. There are 3 words that I'm going to say, and those 3 words are the very simple ones that you've used every day. Those words are live, laugh, and love. Be sure to live every moment. You are going to laugh every day. And your love is going to be beyond everything. We welcome each of our honorees here today. Today is the day that we celebrate you. To continue with the program, we have a young man that is here. This is from the First Church of Newport News Baptist. His name is Reverend Dr. Rodney Johnson. Please go along with me and let's give him a warm welcome.
Let us pray. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, as we gather here this morning, we thank you and praise you for this day. We thank you, dear Master, for the gift of life. We thank you, O God, for this event and for its purpose. We thank you, dear Master, for this wonderful opportunity to be together to pay tribute to these recipients of the Newport News Lifelong Citizenship Award. And now, O God, I ask your blessings upon this ceremony. Those who will speak and those who will listen. Grant us, O God, success in every good endeavor as we serve our communities, our nation, and our world. Be with us now, O God, this hour and every hour. And we thank you and we praise you now, because all that we do and all that we accomplish is because of you and for your mighty glory. Amen.
Good morning. I'm Michael Poplowski. I'm your Director of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, and I'd like to welcome you here to the Brittingham Midtown Community Center. For those of you that have never been here, please feel free to take a look around. This is pretty much a state-of-the-art community center, even though it's a little over 20 years old now. It has a 50-meter pool, and it's 80,000 square feet. If you have been here before, welcome back. I do want to take a moment and recognize some of the honorees. Mayor Price will in a moment recognize our current honorees. I do want to recognize those of you who have been honored in the past. If you would just simply raise your hand and we'll recognize you. We'll start with 2010 and move on to last year. Marion G. Newsom. Beulah H. Seabrun. Jose E. Rangel. Thelma, Jose. Thelma B. Styron. Annie G. Wheeler. Virginia M. Evans. Virginia. Hayward S. Lovett Sr. Emma L. Spruill. Clyde T. Diacont. Francis G. Rouse. Rosabelle W. Johnson. Rachel S. Ogburn. Evelyn I. Freeman. Anna G. McCormick. George S. Mitchell, Doctor. Phoebe E. Morris. And Lawrence J. Sachs. Thank each of you for re-attending the ceremony this morning. Just a very little bit about today's program if you've not been here before. This annual recognition ceremony was developed by the city's Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Active Lifestyles Division, along with the Active Lifestyles Advisory Committee. Today's event actually marks the 12th annual Lifelong Citizen Awards ceremony. To date, that wasn't the honorees that we just recognized, that wasn't our total number. Those were the honorees that had indicated they might possibly be here. But to date, 142 citizens have been recognized and honored. This annual ceremony recognizes residents based on 3 criteria. First, they must be a citizen of Newport News. Second, they must be at least 90 years of age. But those are only 2 of the qualifiers for being recognized. The third criteria is probably best summarized by a quote from Peter Marshall, who was a well-known pastor who served 2 appointments as chaplain of the United States Senate. It was Chaplain Marshall who said, "The true measure of life is not in its duration, but in its donation." So beyond being a resident of Newport News or achieving the age of 90 or beyond, to be recognized for this honor requires recipients to have made a positive impact on and contribution to the city throughout their lifetime. And if you look at the background summaries for each of the honorees in your program, I think you'll all easily attest that the donation of time and talent and even treasures from this year's honorees has been very significant in making the City of Newport News a better place to live, to work, and to raise a family. This time I'd like to recognize Mr. William Bill Massey, who's the Executive Director of the Peninsula Agency on Aging, for some remarks. Bill?
Thank you, Mike. It's really a privilege to be here and represent the Peninsula Agency on Aging at this wonderful event. I don't think I've missed any of these over the 12 years, and it's always something I look forward to, and I know everyone in the room does. When I checked in at the registration desk this morning, they said, "You're assigned to table 2." So I checked in at table 2 and made sure the folks were okay with me joining them for lunch later. And I said, "I'm going to have to leave. I have a speaking part in today's program." And they said, "Well, I hope it's short." And I assured them it was, so I'm going to live up to that. And I'm looking forward to getting back to table 2 to have further conversation. I wanted to share a couple of quotes with you this morning from Rabbi Abraham and Joshua Heschel. And he has hundreds of quotes, but there are a couple that kind of stood out and I hope are relevant to being here and honoring individuals who have made such wonderful contributions to our community over a long, long lifetime. The first one is, the test of a people is how they behave toward the elderly. It's easy to love children. Even tyrants and dictators make a point of being fond of children. But the affection for and care of the elderly is a true gold mine of a culture. And let me hasten to say this is not to diminish the importance of children. They're our future, we all know that. And in looking at the bios, many of you have spent a tremendous amount of time helping children and helping to improve the lives of children in our community. So I just want to lend a little balance there. But I think too frequently, older adults in our society are somewhat forgotten. So it's really wonderful to be here for an event that recognizes individuals who have lived a long time. And just on a personal note, last year I shared that it was going to be 14 years until I could submit an application. So this year it's 13 years. I just wanted to keep the count going. The other quote I wanted to share from Rabbi Heschel is, "The opposite of good is not evil. The opposite of good is indifference." And I think that is really speaks to the individuals we're honoring today. They have not been indifferent, and they have made a huge difference in the lives of individuals in our community and in the city of Newport News. So I just want to thank you for your contributions, and if I stop now, I have made my commitment to table 2 stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. This time it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Mayor of the City of Newport News, the Honorable McKinley L. Price.
Good morning. And I did not make a commitment to table 3, so but bear with me. This is one of my favorite events, as it's to honor the people who have spent their lives making our city great. This group of lifelong citizens is impressive, and we had to condense your incredible volunteerism and service to our community down to 1 paragraph for the proclamations, and let me tell you, that was almost impossible to do. Before we highlight your contributions, I have some fun facts to help put things into context. You were born between the years of 1923 and 1929, and during those years, Roy and Walt Disney founded the Walt Disney Company. Frozen food was invented. Alvin Shipwreck Kelly sat on a flagpole over 13 hours, creating one of the first pop culture fads, flagpole sitting. The first 3D movie, The Power of Love, was released. It was also the first film to have an alternate ending, as viewers could choose between happy and sad endings by closing one eye or the other. Ford introduced its first truck, the Ford Model T Runabout with pickup body, and the price of a Model T was reduced to $260. And that was because the production increased so much. And times have really changed. Wouldn't it be nice to buy a car now for $260? In all seriousness, though, while all this change was taking place in the world, your dedication to your community, family, and faith never changed. You've been a part of transformation and growth throughout our city, and you've spoken for those voices who weren't heard. You've stood up for those who were knocked down, and you've never given up on people who were deemed hopeless. You each were drawn to give back and work to ensure that Newport News is a city of opportunity for all, where people have the support needed to succeed, and where we are proud to live, and where neighbors help one another. You know, I'm blessed to have been able to celebrate my mother's 100th birthday this year, and she continues to share her love and lessons with us. She's also quick to speak up when she thinks we need some tough love, though. And seeing her with my 4-year-old grandson has been an incredible gift. Their bond is indescribable and something I hope carries with him forever. I share this because it's so important for young people to learn from one or more seasoned citizens to understand the struggles of the past and the importance of serving others. Many of you are engaged with Newport News youth, and for that we are truly grateful. Thank you for serving as mentors and surrogate grandparents to young people in Newport News, some of whom have nobody in their lives encouraging them or believing in them. You show our children that they are worthy of our time and compassion, and you inspire them to continue in your tradition of service. And I speak from personal experience when I say your influence in the lives of young people stays with them forever. Back in the day, one of our honorees, Miss Eleanor Hill, taught a young McKinley Price at Thomas Jefferson Elementary School, and I'm sure I did not make her life easy. Excuse me. I love that lady. She continues to do great work at our church. C.S. Lewis said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." Newport News is a city of dreamers, of people who are committed to making the world a better place for others. Today we honor you, our dreamers. You each have left a mark on our great city, and the wisdom and guidance you continue to share encourages others to never give up or to stop dreaming. So on behalf of the Newport News City Council and the citizens of Newport News, I thank you for your lifelong commitment to our great city. We appreciate your lives of dedication and service to Newport News. We are a stronger, more vibrant city because of you. Thank you for lifting up your neighbors and your city. I would now like to read a proclamation. Whereas the City of Newport News recognizes individuals for their lifetime of commitment, caring, and collaboration to enhance the lives of citizens of Newport News. And whereas the Newport News Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism and the Active Lifestyles Program Advisory Committee appreciate the dedication of these individuals and recognize the many contributions they have delivered to improve the quality of life of others. And whereas these individuals have served the citizens, the City of Newport News, and their respective communities as leaders, advocates, role models, educators, and volunteers for over 467 combined years in an unselfish and dedicated manner since 1951. And whereas these individuals have a strong commitment and an unwavering spirit to give freely willingly and cheerfully of their time and talents in assisting charitable, social, civic, and religious organizations on behalf of their communities. And whereas the citizens and the City of Newport News recognizes each one for your contributions they have made over the many years of service to the community. Now, therefore, I, McKinley L. Price, Mayor of the City of Newport News, Virginia, do hereby recognize and honor all of the 2019 Lifelong Citizenship honorees: Leslie M. Brown, John B. Dawson, MD, Sarah C. DeYoung, Sidney Fink, MD, Eleanor V. Hill, Margaret L. Howard, James R. Huggett, Jr., Hilda M. Laubach, Haley Stalin, Sr., James E. Wynn, and Teresa A. Wynn, for their many years of distinguished service and generosity bestowed upon the citizens of this city. May each of you continue to inspire others and touch many more lives in the years ahead. Thank you.
An additional welcome and celebration, another highlight is about to begin, because the proclamation that our mayor just read, now he's going to present this to each one of our honorees. They will be individually given. Mayor, thank you. And these are the ones that are receiving the proclamation. Leslie Brown, John Dawson, MD, Sarah DeYoung, Sidney Fink, MD, Eleanor Hill, Margaret Howard, James Huggett, Jr., Hilda Lovaris, James Wynn, and Teresa Wynn. Let's give them all a hand, please.